Okay, welcome to Tea Friday. Um, so, okay, I'm trying to remember everything I need to say before I start. So, first of all, a lot of you have been repeatedly seeing the number 888. That is a huge indicator of some type of abundance coming to you guys. And if you're seeing that, especially after Saturn retrograde started, just know that you're getting a lot of blessings coming in if you've been seeing 888. Some of you could also be seeing the number 333, which is like a sign that you have ancestors around you. And a lot of you also probably could be seeing like 911, which is a sign that there's like evil eye on you. Okay, like there's a lot of, I've been picking up on a lot of like jealousy and envy in you guys' readings, but that's just more proof that like what you're trying to manifest is like happening because people are jealous. And whoever gets today's extended, I'm gonna add a ritual in there to work with the sun. I know a lot of times they're working with the moon, but this one's gonna be to work with the sun, and it's gonna be like a ritual to bring in abundance, but it's also gonna be a ritual to help you be seen, to help you be picked. So say that you're like wanting to beat out somebody in a position at work, or you've applied for an apartment or a job or whatever. Like your applications, your position, they're going to pick you before they pick the others, even if the others are like more qualified, because working with the sun is going to help you to shine brighter and be seen. But it's also going to help you with like cleansing too. Believe it or not, being out in the sun helps with like spiritual cleansing. Not to mention all the benefits of the sun. But anyway, I'll quit rambling about that. But anyway, that's a good ritual to do. A lot of people don't know that you can work really well with the sun. And since you guys are already like fire signs, you'll do well with it. Anyway, and in that ritual, it's also like, so those of you who have been wanting to create like a online business like YouTube, TikTok, or something, you kind of just haven't really had the gumption to do it, this will help you like motivate to want to be seen, okay, to shine. It's the sun. You can't miss the sun, okay? Anyway, and there's something about the name Sharon. They didn't give me a lot of names, but before I started this reading, I heard the name Sharon. So there could be somebody specific watching named Sharon, or you know a Sharon. I think that's came out in the readings before. But let's see what signs come out, what signs you could be dealing with. Okay, we have Capricorn, Aquarius. There's also a heavy narcissistic energy that's coming out in your readings lately. Isis, quit that baby girl. Those of you who know, like, I lost Max. He was my best friend for 13 years. And then I got this new dog, Isis. And those of you who know Max, he was always in the background, snoring, barking, dreaming. But Isis, she's a little bit different. You'll hear her in the background chewing on something or licking herself, or like right now she's rubbing on her back, so she's probably going to start making a grunting noise. But she's like a little kid. She's about 2, they believe. She still has baby teeth, but she is like a toddler. You can't leave her unattended or she's into something. I wish you could see her right now. She's laying on her back. But anyway, if you hear noise in the background, also, I hate to ramble, but somebody commented and were like, oh, I try to listen to you, but I can't stand the white noise in the background. That's called an air conditioner. Okay, I would love to turn it off, but I can't. Like, I just can't. It's where I'm at. It's like 110, 111. So, and just until the weather goes back down, then I can turn it back off. But anyway, that's what that is. Okay, it's not like I'm over here purposely white noising y'all. It's really, but anyway, I'll quit rambling. But there is a huge narcissistic energy around you guys that is plotting something. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It came out in last Friday's extended. It was almost like a warning. This person has like a desire to set you up. I even gave an example of, this is the type of person, like, so say you have like, they're so petty, because it's like say that you live in the city limits, and you have like a stick out in the yard, like they'll call city, the city code or whatever, and turn you in because you have a stick out there. I know that sounds stupid, but or whatever codes that you have to keep in ordinance, just stupid little shit like that this narcissist is doing. And there's also like a gossiping energy with this person. Like this person could be contacting like friends, family, and shit like that. So anyway, somebody need to hear that. Let's see. And then we have Pisces. There also is a feminine water sign, heavy Pisces, Cancerian energy, that's also hating on you. And this person's with like a fire sign energy or something. They're like threatened by you. It keeps coming out in your readings. Then we have Scorpio. We have Cancer, Virgo, and then this one flew, Sagittarius. And we have Virgo again, Aries, Aquarius. This Aquarius, there's two that's come out. They both came out in reverse. I flipped them upright. That first one, I flipped it upright. So there could be, that's a sign to me. Everything's a sign. There could be an Aquarius that is starting shit with you. Aries. And then we have Capricorn again, Libra, and then Sag. Let me pull two more, okay? Scorpio, Pisces. Pisces is in the reverse too. So there could be something significant about a Pisces or an Aquarius. I'm trying to think what that Aquarius reading was. It did show in the extended for my Sag dealing with Aquarius. There was a narcissist in that extended. That was out for vengeance, trying to set you up too. At the bottom we have Scorpio the detective. So there could be somebody looking into you. And then here in the middle we have Taurus the builder. So some of you guys be dealing with Taurus. Anyways, I will go ahead. I'm going to add the Aquarius reading in this extended, because I have like a inkling somebody who did not get that extended needs to hear it. So if you get today's Friday tea read, I'll add in the Aquarius. Okay, there's something significant about that. All right, let me put these out. Let's see what spirit guide, ancestor wants to give a message in the extended. Okay, Spirit of Four Winds, North. God's majesty, power, glory brings promotion. Okay, so those of you who don't know, there's different spirits that work with the like north, south, east, and west. So there's something about God's majesty and power and glory is bringing you a promotion. And I told you, it's funny that they advised me to do this sun ritual, which I've never done before. But there is something about that. It's going to help you like with a promotion. Okay, but God's anointing you. He has his hand on you guys. And I think that's why a lot of you are experiencing the evil eye right now. People are just envious because they see God on you. Some of you could be being called to work with the north. Okay, so you stand towards north and say whatever it is you want to manifest. Let me pull one more. And then we have ancient oaks. Okay, so those of you who don't know what ancient oaks is, go Google that. But there's something about needing to ground too with the ancient oaks. And then they're advising me, that's why I keep pulling more. There's an uncle. Okay, so there's an uncle here who wants to give you a message. And then at the bottom we have seer. So you guys are seers. You can see things that others can't. Look, I cut it, and there's another one. Spirit of the Four Winds South. Blessings, abundance, prosperity. There's something significant about abundance that keeps coming out in your readings. And I know that it's coming because of the 888. There's something significant about that number. And you guys getting finances. So if you've been having financial lack, you're going to get help in that area. And then they told me to use these cards. Oh my God, you cannot freaking make it up. Ashira. Okay, those of you who do not know, this card came out last year. Ashira did. And then, or in that reading, you could hear a spirit in the background saying, ask her. And then like 5 or 6 months later, it came out again, not the voice, but they were like telling me exactly why she came out. But Ashira, there was Yahweh. I know this is kind of lengthy, but I'm trying to explain to you who she is. They called it Yahweh and his Ashira. Okay, so God created everything with a divine masculine and feminine. If you notice, every animal has a pair. Well, there was the actual pair to Yahweh too, and it was Ashira, and she's mentioned in the Bible. But in that reading, it was so significant because I've never heard a spirit on camera before. And the fact that it said ask her, and then later on, months later, I was kind of confused because I'm like, well, was it saying ask her, or was that spirit saying Ashira, like ask her Ashira? So either way, some of you guys could work really well with Ashira. Okay, the Canaanite people, they worked with her and Yahweh, and they complained when like the hierarchy came in and made them get rid of Ashira, because they said they went into famine. They were like, everything was blessed. We had food, we had plenty, but when you made us take Ashira out of the situation, we became poor. We became in famine. So there's something significant about her. If you don't know who she is, go research her. Okay. But there was a hierarchy, and I want to say it's monotheism, or I can't remember the exact wording, but it was pretty much like where they came in and stripped all the feminine energy out. And then you've seen it throughout history, how they targeted women. They feared women. You know, they'd call them witches and all this other crazy shit. But these were just women who had gifts, spiritual gifts. So a lot of you have these gifts. And Ashira is trying to like encourage you to use them. It's also a reminder of what they did to her, how they stripped her out of the picture. But let me read this. The fact that they told me to use these cards and then she came out, it's very significant. Okay, it says Ashira was the ancient divine feminine goddess, mother of the gods, whom the ancients worshipped as the queen of heaven. When her oracle card shows up in a reading, consider matters involving the mother, home, and your family tree. Not everyone has a nurturing and healthy experience with maternal energy in their life. So if this applies, the shadows around this can feel difficult. Issues of fertility and children can arise. It is time to face what has been hiding beneath the surface. You can also be changing your home, renovating, or taking part in ancestral healing through a spiritual modality. Ashira was an ancient goddess who was the queen consort of the supreme god El and fertile mother of 70 gods. She worshipped alongside El, which was Yahweh. Okay, El is Yahweh. But ultimately, her presence led to suppression when the patriarchally based monotheism took a hold. That's what I was trying to explain earlier. Ashira is another example of how powerful dark feminine figures have been demonized by male-dominated religious hierarchy. She was considered evil, a false god that one should not worship for fear of punishment. Men were supposed to lead the church, with women as a subservient and silent. Again, they demonized her. So if you're watching tarot, you're in the same boat as her. Go tell the people you're watching tarot and see how they look at you. They're going to demonize you, unfortunately. And they do this because they don't want you to know your power. Okay? And people fear what they don't understand. It's quite ignorant, but whatever. It says, Ashira, having dedicated rituals and ceremonies to the queen goddess, Not only was she a goddess and a deity, but Ashera was also the name for sacred ceremonial poles or trees. Oh, so this is why the ancient oaks came out, because see, her poles were made out of the trees. Okay, so she's showing up there through the trees. Used as ancient altars. It is theorized that they were used to worship the goddess. These Asherah poles were typically used in practices, but were later banned and demonized by religious hierarchy or whatever. It says, nurture yourself, heal, and tap into the wisdom of the supreme goddess. Again, so there could be some of you who feel like this, like you've been like demonized by people for your beliefs. So there's something about that, but like I said, the fact that you could hear a spirit come out in that reading is mind-blowing. So every time she comes out like that, I know there's a huge message, you know, in it. And then we have projection, your spiritual gold. Again, I feel like there could be people who are projecting onto you, but you have this spiritual gold in you, and it's like they're trying to get you to put that out there. There's somebody watching too. You may have not put yourself out there. You have a lot of spiritual gifts, and you have a fear of what people will think. Maybe it's your family, maybe you grew up religious or something. Don't care what nobody thinks, okay? Your power is when you no longer care, okay? It says, you've reached the end of the rainbow, and the spiritual pot of gold is yours. When the projection oracle appears, the cosmos want to let you know that abundance, look at that, abundance, joy, and fulfillment have arrived. You are at the end of an atrocious yet empowering journey towards self-acceptance and empowerment. The sun, ooh, dang. It says the sun is an esoteric symbol of this time in alchemy. So pay attention to the sun sign in astrology. You are now aligning with this power. See, that's another thing I always like. I'm here to help you guys with all your little romance and drama and shit like that. But one of the main things I like to do is teach you guys. They always tell me what cards to use. And then they, like, even with like the sun ritual, they told me, you know, like, so listen to that intuition. There's somebody watching and you have not been listening to that. You're just completely blocking out that still small voice. Okay, that's what your intuition is. Your intuition is actually your higher self, your future self, and your guides. Okay, you have angels, ancestors, the Holy Spirit. But this sun is very important right now. Okay, it says your shadow is projected back to you when you cast it out to others. But so is your light when you go through the alchemy process and embody it. This is the final gate in the alchemy magnum opus, where you have released shadow projections and you are emanating out your spiritual gold easily and effortlessly. You are now fully aligned with your higher self and fully embodying your life path. You have reached the Philosopher's Stone and are able to use it to transform the world around you. And then it says, investigate your sun sign in astrology when you are in this phase of alchemy. Learning more will give you a strong idea of how to continue embodying your spiritual gold. For further details, channel your astrology sun sign. Okay? And then it says, you are glowing. You are glowing. Your soul's essence is shining brightly, attracting abundance, joy, and love. So, again, that sun energy is going to do you guys a lot of favors, especially when it comes to like being seen and getting abundance. Look at that. Jupiter. Expansion, prosperity, and growth. That's your energy. Sagittarius, this is your guys' energy. Things are changing. Look at this shit. Look what's at the bottom. The sun. Your soul's purpose. Okay? So you guys are... A lot of you are in alignment with your soul's purpose, and it's now time to like put that out there. now I gotta read this, because how could I not read this when I'm sitting there preaching about the sun, and then here it is. There could also be somebody coming in towards you, a counterpart that's also like the sun, embodies that energy. So let's see what 22 says, and then we'll get on to the T. 21. It says, there are many layers in your DNA, and understanding your sun sign is a good place to start. When this card appears, confidence, joy, and time in the spotlight is on its way. It is time to move into the truth of who you are and align with your soul's purpose. The sun rules over the royal fire sign of Leo, and just as Leo loves being the center of attention, the sun is at the center and is the life force of our solar system. In ancient occult and spiritual traditions across the globe, the sun was highly worshipped, with deities invoking its energy. Holy shit. Just like, I'm here with you guys, learning this and reading this as we go, but still to this day, even though I've been doing this for years with you guys, I still am like a child, in awe and mind blown when they tell me these things, and then it comes out in the reading. Okay, it blows my mind. But anyway, the deities worshipped, invoking the sun's energy. So I want you to understand how powerful that is, that there was deities thousands and thousands of long years before you guys who were invoking the sun's power. Okay, it says, in alchemy, your sun sign represents the spiritual gold and inner light, which is crazy. We were just talking about spiritual gold. The bright star is a luminary and provides the energy that is needed to sustain life on Earth. Without the interplay between the nurturing Mother Moon, reflecting its vibrant rays of Father Sun, there would be no life. It is the delicate dance between the divine feminine and masculine here on Earth. The sun is a personal planet, so depending on your unique birth chart, its traits are easily visible in your personality. Understanding where your sun sign sits within your chart provides a map of how to access this part of yourself. In ancient alchemy, the sun's placement in your natal chart can help you understand your higher self and align with this energy. The following guide can show you energetic characteristics that align with your sun sign. Okay. So pretty much it has like a little chart here. Sun in Taurus, Sun in Aries. Let's go over here to Sagittarius. You're a wise, it says wise teacher. Okay. Wise teacher if your sun is in Sag. And then you've seen the other ones. Okay. So anyways, a lot of you are going to benefit from working with that. I mean, there's something about that. Like, if you guys have heard me talk about Ashira before, really study her and see if that's like somebody that you're meant to work with, because I'm telling you, I've never heard a spirit talk on camera before since then. And it's funny because somebody commented and was like, well, who does the editing on your videos? I'm like, nobody. I'm using a cell phone, and that's what I've used since I started my channel. And I don't go back and like watch the video before I post it. So the dog chewing in the background, the air conditioner, whatever you hear in the background, the trains, the planes, because I live by trains and planes, I don't edit it out. You hear what you hear. Okay. And sometimes I don't remember what I say because I channel. Okay, so anyway, and then I was told to use these little black cards. So there's something here about them. Okay, it says the chaser. So you have somebody who's going to be chasing you here. Somebody who's chasing after you. And then it says healthy choices. I feel like you guys have chose self-love, self-care, and you're happier. And because you've done that, there could be past people who are like chasing after you, and you're choosing to probably ignore their ass. And then it says the golden mirror. Self-absorbed narcissist, one-sided relationship, love bombing. Exactly. You've chose to love yourself, and because you went into that self-love energy, this narcissist is losing their shit and chasing you. Okay? And I knew that because I was picking up on it. There was a heavy energy of a narcissist. So I'm going to pull on that because they were plotting what's new. And then it says, keys on a ring, many options, decision, unconventional, string along, one night stand. This could also mean that you guys are also just like have a lot of options, okay? And then it says, I like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming. Fun, flirting, wants to date. So I feel like you guys are also making healthier choices when it comes to like your dating life. And there's somebody here who really likes you that could want to date you. You could be going on dates with somebody here in the near future. And then it says addiction, codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint. Now this would have landed right on top of the narcissist. So there could be a narcissist that has like an addiction here. Wow. And then we have soulmates and engagement ring came out together. Okay. So you guys are also finding a soulmate that you will end up like engaged to in the future. So I'll pull on that. I'll just put soulmates, but instead of using both cards, but whoever it is, you will end up getting like an engagement ring from this soulmate. Maybe you already, there's somebody watching and you already are engaged. Others of you are going to. And then we have paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. So I feel like whoever that soulmate is with that ring energy, you guys could also like go on vacation or something with that person. And then we have love call and then breakup. So there's also something about, so it says someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you, letting you know, and then breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandon. I feel like somebody that you're in separation with is going to try to message you and tell you how much they miss you, how much they love you, how much they want to get back together with you. I'm also feeling that there is also like a sabotaging energy. So say that you are dating somebody new. I feel like you have an ex who's going to try to like call you or blow up your phone or something like that to try to like get you to separate from a new energy too. So be aware of like people trying to sabotage you out of fucking nowhere. And then it says the snake. Competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, the other woman. Okay. I picked up on this. There's a heavy feminine energy that's showing up that is connected to somebody you used to be with or something. And there's also a nasty feminine energy that's like a business rival. So you do need to protect your energy, send it back to sender. But it was like a Pisces Cancer energy. So I'll pull on that. And then, damn, okay, this got worse. Stabbed in the back, shocking attack. Okay, damn. So, whoever this feminine energy is, they're like they're out for blood here. Like, this is somebody who could literally want to like attack you. And they're like heartbroken. Unless this is like one of your exes that's attached to that person. I'll pull on both of them. I'm trying not to pull on too many of these little black cards because it's too much. And then it says outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in their head. So this is also somebody who's like going over and over and over a scenario in their head about you. And then it says self-indulgence, focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. And then watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing. So you're somebody who's like trying to heal. You're working on yourself. And you have somebody who is stalking you, watching you. Okay. Yeah. And this person's also like looking at your pictures. And then it says mirroring each other, relationship, reflect our wounds, introspection, and then not today, not dealing, avoiding conversation, still angry. So you and somebody, and it could be this person who's watching you, they're watching you heal. This person, you're mirroring each other. Both of you guys are still mad at each other and do not want to talk. I think that's one of the main people who are watching you. And then it says receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure. So you're moving on. And then it says not enough. Frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego, issues, jealousy. Again, there's somebody who's very jealous and envious of the fact that you're moving on and they feel like they're not good enough for you. And then it says healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. So you've got the hell out of that. A lot of healing energy. And then ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So you're going to ascend and go into union with somebody else who's like on your level. And then it says girl talk, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. And then we have wedding rings. Damn. So some of you guys are going to be going from single to married. Okay, so if you're single right now, in the future you're going to end up married here. And that's whoever that soulmate with engagement ring is. So let's see. These little cards here too, I was led to bust out. So let's see what they say. Light and dark, secret ways of change, silent shadows. And then multiple masks. Okay, so there could be somebody who's wearing like multiple masks. And then it says breaking the mirage, clearing the fog, the mist. Oh, so you see through somebody's mask. And then journey, voyage. Look, there goes the sun, the moon. That kind of reminds me of Jupiter. So it's funny that that Jupiter card came out. And then it says enchanted cat, spiritual energy, mystic power, barriers against darkness, fortunes, protection, inner magic, divine force. And then it says this cycle continues. Oh my God. And look at that. Sudden wealth. So there's something here about like a death and a rebirth when it comes to finances. Like you could have had money even in a past life here. And it's funny that this rose looks like it's growing from the concrete, and it reminds me of this quote from Tupac. And you know, Tupac was very wealthy. And they're also doing his trial right now to find out who, you know, offed him. But he talked about the roses that grew from the concrete. So you could be somebody who grew up in a very, you know, rough life. You came from humble beginnings. And something's going to change significantly. Yeah, they just told me to cut the deck. Look, there's another butterfly with the lightning. So lightning happens like really quick. Something is going to happen where you go into sudden wealth. Some of you guys aren't going to even have to work for this, or maybe you are. It just depends on the situation because everybody's different. But you're going to go from like a rags to riches is what I'm hearing. And there's a huge transition in your life because of this. So I will definitely pull on that. And then it says sacred blossom. And then it says defendant innocent. Okay, so if you're having any court issues or anything like that, you're going to be found innocent. And then it says hazy illusions. And then aerial dream, ether dance. So there's also something about like if you've been confused about something, you're going to be shown in a dream some type of answer. And then look what's at the bottom. Omen, ancient rituals, dark wisdom, mystic messengers, death and rebirth, the crows. So you could also have crows who are giving you signs. And it says anger and attempt to mask insecurity. Yeah, you could be being shown in a dream. Anytime I see crows or ravens, it's a warning shot. They're warning you of like somebody who's going to cross over, or somebody who's stealing from you or targeting you. Okay, so you could kind of be confused about something, but you're going to be shown. Spirit's going to show you. But there's somebody here who's heartbroken, and they're very angry, so they're wanting to like hurt you. Look, that came out. That butterfly. And then it says, trust signals. The universe knows your path. Wrong route, no entry. Okay, so some of you guys are going to be like pushed to go a certain direction. And then it says human life. Harmonize your energy. Embrace your true being. And then human life. Ascend to the highest vibration. So a lot of you guys are ascending. And then it says, wait, gauge, judge, reflect, then act boldly. So, you know, maybe in the past, your old self would just cuss people out. And now they're saying, don't do that. Wait, reflect, then act. Okay, don't just go popping off. And then it says, misleading mask, bogus, shading true self. So again, there's somebody around you who's wearing a mask. And then it says heavy tidings, signal of unease, grim message, and then unexpected surprise. Okay, so there's going to be some type of surprise message you get also, and it looks like somebody could be crying, or this could be devastating type surprise with all those tears. And then it says, these came out together. Pity the fools who mock the Queen's grace, and then confronting the beast within me. So a lot of you guys are being protected by like this beast energy too, whether it's you or somebody else that does not play about you. And then it says energy frequency shift, and then weigh your emotions carefully, find equilibrium within, and then kindle a spark. So some of you guys could be kindling a spark. Look, and it came out. The crows came out. So there's definitely a warning there. See, there's somebody who's like fired up, and I feel like you're trying to mind your own business here. And there's somebody who's very fired up. But you see how there's this sun here? So there's a lot of fire energy here. But I do feel like there's somebody upset. They could be trying to come to your house or some shit. I don't know. And then we have, this kept showing itself. Healing sonar, hold your frequency, creative, positive, emo ions, evolve eternally. And then look, they told me to cut the deck, and look at that. Justice is coming. And that's exactly what that 888 is. A lot of you guys are getting justice from things that have been done to you. I'm going to pull on this in the extended. I want to find out what this message is going to contain, what they're going to say. There's something important about that. I'm going to pull right now on the crows and see what is the crows. I got to be careful with it. This is the vice versa tarot. And I think there's naked people in here. Okay, so we have the shadow side of the Six of Wands, and then the Queen of Pentacles, the back of the Queen of Pentacles. So in this deck, yeah, and then we have the Page of Swords. You're being watched, okay? You're being watched by somebody who's very egotistical. This is like somebody who thinks everybody should like bow down to them. And they also got some type of victory. Like they used all these people to gain this victory, but they don't appreciate these people. So you could be dealing with somebody, and this is like Leo energy. There's somebody who they don't care how they win as long as they win, and they don't care about the people that they hurt to get there. And they use these people as like a footstool to gain this power. You see how like all these people have blood all over them, okay? And I don't think this person does. So it's like they made all these people do the hard work. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. She's the exact same because she does all the hard work. She's the one that takes care of every damn buddy. The kids, the house, the animals, the work. And her little throne here is battered to hell. And in this same deck, if you look at the King of Pentacles, he has like a watermelon back here. His throne looks lush and plush and shit. And he has all this shit with him. And he's in good energy, like has a really pretty energy to his throne. And it's because he made her do all the fucking work. So there's something about like you have somebody who could be very egotistical that you were dealing with, and they want you to do all the work. Like they want to like, you know, they could have been like claiming your success, but behind it all, you're the one who did it all. It's crazy. I just seen, they just showed me a flash of the movie. Do you guys remember that movie? I don't know the name of it, but there's this lady. She literally helped this man with his business, and he became very successful. And then she ends up leaving his ass, or he ends up leaving her for like his assistance or something. And she goes and puts all his shit in the car and catches it on fire. I can't think of the name, but there's like a bunch of memes of her like setting the car on fire and walking off. But she's who made him successful. And like he ditched her. So there could have been somebody who like used you and then like was very like, they thought that they were on top of their game, but it was actually because of you. You're the one who put in the hard work. Okay. And so the crows are warning you about this energy. Yeah, then we have the Ten of Wands and the Page of Wands. So now this person's like burdened, okay? And I feel like they're going to try to like contact you here. That's why they're warning you about this. There's also something like how they feel forgotten, because this like, it's like they've done a lot of work or they're burdened, but nobody really remembers them. All they get is like a statue. You could be hearing something about this person's burdens maybe too. And then we have the Hierophant. And then we have the Nine of Cups. So there could have also been somebody who thought they found some type of wish fulfillment elsewhere. Yeah, and this person is wanting to fight with you. They could also feel like you're going on to get in a commitment that you feel is wish fulfillment or something. And then you have somebody else here in the background who wants to fight, wants to start shit, wants to cause trouble. Yeah, because they feel left out in the cold. This person feels left out in the cold, and there's some type of lack energy. And then we have the King of Cups. And then we have the back of the King of Swords. And then the Six of Cups. Yeah, so there's somebody here who's watching you. And look how he looks angry up there. Like, what are you doing? And he's like looking down. So it's like this person could be looking down on you. And they could have always been egotistical. Look down on you. This King of Swords. And like I said, there was an Aquarius energy that was very narcissistic. And I'm going to add that in. The extended... but I feel like this person's waiting for something. They're waiting to start shit. They're waiting to cause issues or something. They could feel like you have somebody else. And then we have Three of Pentacles. They could be working with others or they're just trying to see like who you're working with. And then we have the Two of Cups. Yeah, you're working with somebody you're going to be. You're coming together with a soulmate here. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, but it's the back of the Page of Pentacles where this person has an empty cup. Okay. Ooh, and then look, here goes the back of the Eight of Wands. This is karma. Yeah, and then we have this Knight of Pentacles down here. This is somebody who was as a has-been. This Knight of Pentacles talks about this person used to have a good life, and now all they have left is this little wheat stalk. And they're also like a foot soldier, like they take orders from other people. So this person could have like worked hard all their life just to end up with like nothing but this little stalk of wheat. And they have nothing here in their cup here either. So they have no finances and they're in lack. And this card right here is very important because this is Pegasus on this card. This card talks about whatever bad that you've put out into the world is coming back to you eightfold. This is karma. Okay, now whatever good you've put out is coming back to you. So if you've been seeing 888, it's your sign that all the good that you've done is headed back to you, but you're also going to be witnessing a lot of people's karma who haven't done so good to people. And there's somebody here who's taken a huge loss. And I feel like they could be feeling like, they're crying over you, like they fumbled you. Because you were the Queen of Pentacles, you took care of every damn thing. And now that you're not in the picture, they're suffering. Yeah, and I also feel like they're watching you. Like this person could be watching you online. Again, you see the 8. This is what I feel like, though, is happening, is you're going to be the one watching them struggle. You're going to be watching them go through their karma. So, like, whatever they did to you is now, like, the tables have turned. There's also, like, a lot of people watching this person juggle. So, you could be being watched. One day that, like I said, some of you guys are going to create something where you're seen like the sun. And there's going to be people watching you. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're working on something. So this person's watching you work on something. You guys also, there's like a father energy here. Like you could have watched your father. Like you have a heavy presence of like a child or a father who's crossed that watches you. And again, you see the 8. It's like you have a spirit here. But your father could have taught you a lot in life. But you're working on something here. People are watching. And then we have the 9 of Wands. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. So you've been through it. Yeah, look. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles. They're watching what you're growing. And they're jealous. 5 of Swords. They want to sabotage you. This talks about, like, nobody wins. Like, they did all this bullshit for nothing. And they don't win. But somebody's very jealous, envious. Okay? Over you. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Exactly. Like, they're angry. They want to move in. They want to rush in and try to sabotage you. Whatever you're building. Whatever you're working on. And then we have the Moon. Because she has her tatas out. So I can't show her all the way. We'll just put her like this. Yeah, and then we have the 4 of Pentacles. This is somebody who's very selfish. And so they're also holding back and hiding their hand right now. Okay? And they know that this is over with the Death energy. And then look, we have the 8 of Swords. This card right here reminds me of, you see all the 8 energy? This reminds me of you ended something, and when you did that, you broke free. And there's like a spirit guide who came and helped you. Like, there was literally intervention. Like, you were stuck in some type of toxic situation here. And you had a higher power come in and break you free from this. But eagles also represent seeing something from a higher perspective. So you could have been mentally bound to this situation. But God stepped in and broke you free so that you no longer were stuck in your thoughts over this. Yeah, and then we have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, this person had you under some type of an illusion. And then the Three of Wands. And then there goes the Three of Swords. So this person also did overkill on you. Whoever this is. This is the side of the Three of Swords where it talks about they did overkill on you. So they did that to you, and now here in the future, this is their reality. So this person's feeling what you at one point felt. Yeah, look, and there goes that Knight of Pentacles. This is somebody who feels like they've lost everything and that they're just like a has-been. And then we have the Knight of Cups, the Two of Wands, and then the Ace of Cups. Yeah, so you have a new love coming in here, okay? And it's going to trigger this past energy who feels like they don't have anything. And they wanted to string you up and trap you. I see a snake energy here too. And they was wishing and hoping that, like, even though you walked away, they was hoping that they had enough mental hold over you that you wouldn't actually leave. And I feel like they could have been working with others, or still are, to try to trap you or string you up here. Okay? And they were still wishing and hoping that even though this was over, that you weren't actually going to leave. So this person's being like put in this hanged man position to think about all this stuff. Like, Spirit is really making this person sit with what they did to you. Wow. You got out of this just in the nick of time. I'm looking at these cards and holy shit. So you're the Queen of Swords. You cut somebody off. And this, I love the description of this queen in this deck, because it talks about how she's loyal. She doesn't let many people into her circle, it says, but the few that she does, she will protect to death, and she's very loyal to them. Okay, so you're somebody who's very loyal to who you love. So if this jackwagon did you dirty, they really did a number on you, because you're very loyal to who you love. You allowed them in and they screwed you over. Okay, but you have discernment now, and you're choosing to let people put out their own damn fires. There's a fire coming towards this man, but he's choosing not to do anything. And that's exactly what I feel like you're doing. And by you doing that, it's causing a tower. But you got out of this situation just in the nick of time, because this is like the all-seeing eye of God striking this tower. And these two people are thrown out. Not just thrown out, but they're in flames. And then here goes this dove, like the Holy Spirit, a peace dove, and it flies to safety. And I feel like that's you, because look, she's surrounded with clouds. She has wings on her chest, and she's sitting in the heavenlies. And so are you. This is you. You were removed just in time, because you can see how you got out with this dove energy. Then you sit here in the heavenlies, this fire comes and it throws these people out. You avoided this huge tower, okay? And this could be fixing to happen. You could be in this terrible situation, or about to be, and this reading, you seeing this, is going to save your ass, because you took heed. You listened to your intuition and you got out before this tower hits. Okay, because I just heard there's somebody watching and you're still with this person, and you know that it's any day now something's going to happen, and that you have a guide who's been telling you to get the hell out of that house or get out of that apartment. You need to go. If you're in an abusive, narcissistic relationship, you need to get out. Okay, I don't care where you have to go, God will provide. And then, okay, this is the way they work. Then we have the Nine of Swords. This person's going through a tower, and they're looking for brighter days, but they have a shadow over here too, a dark figure who's haunting them. Okay, so this person's like stressed out, having nightmares and shit. And then we have the Four of Cups, And in the original tarot, there's always at least one cup upright that God has. God doesn't have any more cups for this person. This ship is you sailing on, okay? Every single cup, and this is how you know this is a very selfish, evil type energy, because God has continued, I just seen 555. God has continuously blessed this person, whoever they are. No, Meow Meow is like trying to get on my lap while I'm on here. So there's a huge sign of, you know, cats are spiritual. They cleanse you spiritually. So, yeah, like when she shows up in a reading, you need to get the hell out, okay? Somebody's watching. There's one of you. I don't know who you are, but they also just show me you actually were just beat within the last week. One of you were physically abused. You need to get out. Anyway, this person has been given multiple cups. You know, God would be like, okay, well, here's this person. Oh, no, not good enough. And then they ruin them. They're mean to them. They're cruel to them. They use them. And so cup after cup after cup, there's no more cups. There's no more offers from God for this person. Okay? So they're getting hit with karma. And so you have these guides who are warning you about this person because they're getting hit with all this horrible karma and shit because of all the shit that they've done. They're upset at you because you escaped, or maybe you're about to escape, okay? But do it anyway, because you're going to have the victory and success, and you're going to do it the right way. You're going to appreciate the people who put you in a good position. You're not going to do them dirty. Yeah, and this is how you're going to flip it, because you'll go from the back of the Six of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, where you're doing really well, okay, and you become very successful, and then you get to drop that burden, okay, and you're not going to be the one carrying that burden. It'll be that person. Manu, I can't really see what's going on here with you in the way. I really kind of feel like, okay, yeah, okay, this person's watching you. I'm going to pull on the extended and ask exactly who that is that's getting hit with all that karma. I'm pretty sure most of you know who it is, but let's pull some tea. What else is coming towards Sag or whoever's watching for the rest of August? Okay, you cannot make this shit up. I have a cat, a black cat, sitting on my freaking lap. And here's her tail to prove it. She's going to get mad when I touch it, but here she is. There's a, oh my God, look what's at the bottom. Protected from negative forces beyond your control. A lot of you guys have somebody around you who's pretending to be your friend and is not. And that's why this cat just showed up. So you have a friend, or somebody you think is a friend is two-faced. I will pull on that. There's something very important about this right here, okay? The way that my cat just showed up right before this flew out, and then here she is. And I almost was going to put her down because, like I said, she's kind of in the way. But, yeah. So there's a warning here. It's not just exes, and it's not just people. There's people that you may not even suspect, okay? And then it says temporary situation. And then we have, what is all this? Now you really are in the way. Yeah, and then look, rooster, arrogant, boastful person you shouldn't cross, and then disappointment in some affair. So I feel like there could be somebody who's very arrogant that you were in a situation with, but you got out. It was very temporary because you realized their energy and you cut them off. You could be fixing to do this. Okay. Manu, don't get mad at me because you're in the way. She's getting upset because I'm moving too much. Just like mad at me because she's on top of me. And then it says, apple, temptation will test you. There goes that snake energy. And then sorrow over a loss. So you have a very arrogant person here who's going to try to come in and tempt you because they're upset because you've ended things with them. They're in sorrow over this. And then it says plenty of material things. Okay, so you're getting some type of abundance in here too. And then it says announcement. This could be, you be getting some type of abundance where it's like announced. And then it says changes in your life. Yeah, you don't see this with the moon energy, but you have a lot of changes coming. And then it says July. So that there could be something significant. Something could have happened in July. Or somebody who's born in July, which would be Cancer. Who else is in July? Leo? And then we have 4-leaf clover. And then February. And then ring. So some of you guys could be getting married like next year or something. Or next July. And then we have path to money. Money is waiting to find you. So there's also some type of money path and good luck here that is coming towards you guys. And then we again, wow, and then again, well, and then doing something risky, taking a chance. Damn. So some of you guys are going to take a chance. I don't know if it's like buying a lottery ticket or going gambling or I don't know. There's something here where you're going to take a risk and it's going to pay off. This could be a relationship. It could be anything. But you have like coins falling down here from the heavens. Taking a risk with that Tiger energy. Okay, Mountie, I know you're going to be pissed at me, baby girl, but I'm going to have to move you. Because it's hard for me to shuffle and see. Thank you for warning us about the two-faced friend. But maybe I can get her to go up here above me without throwing too much of a hissy. And then we have I, psychic abilities, trust your intuition. Oh, she got pissed. She's seared. She hit the camera. She's like, fuck you, bitch. I'm not sitting up there. Look, wealth. There's some type of intuition that is going to pay off for you. A psychic download. You're going to take a risk, and this is going to lead to wealth. This doesn't always mean like taking a risk. You could with the lottery or whatever. This also could be taking a risk and starting that side hustle, starting that business, doing what I've been encouraging you to do. But there's a psychic hit here that is going to lead you to this. Yeah, and then look, it says you were highly thought of. Okay, so this could put you in a position of power, or just people think highly of you. And then it says haystack. Look at that. You reap what you have sown. So again, there's a huge energy of karma taking place, and then opportunity or windfall. Damn. Your karma is to be highly thought of and to get huge amounts of money here. That's your karma. Because you've done good by people. You've done right by people, and it's paid off. Some of you have had a really hard break. Like you don't understand why you've had such a shit life, but it's fixing to turn around like in your favor. Look, and there goes the eagle, triumphed over troubles and obstacles. You had a guide who came in and broke you free from some type of stuck energy. We've seen with the 8 of Swords. And then look, a goal-oriented person. I feel like that's you guys. And then it says a stubborn, aggressive person, but it came out reversed. So there could be somebody who could have been targeting you, okay, and they were very stubborn and aggressive, but something happens where it flips it, and they're no longer being stubborn, they're no longer being aggressive, and you guys triumph over this. So I don't know if it's like you literally take this person out the picture, they get defeated, or this person just starts working with you and quits being an ass. Okay, but you triumph over this. So you could have had a lot of opposition that is no longer going to be there. And then it says strong emotion, passionate love or hate, and then a change of events that will affect your life. So I feel like there's somebody who it's a love-hate relationship, and they're going to realize it's better to work with you than against you, because this person loves you but hates you at the same time. But it's something about like love may overcome this, and this could have, you know, like they could have done something to you too, where it was a chain of events that affect their life so much to the point where they're realizing, hey, me doing this to Sag is fucking me over. I gotta quit doing this. And they may realize you're also like have some type of protection with that eagle energy. Like somebody's seeing something from a higher perspective when it comes to you. Yeah, you know why? Because look at this. They're realizing they're in this position because of what they've done to you. They're lacking love, money, and goals. And they're thinking to themselves, me being aggressive and stubborn and hating Sag has changed my life course. And now I'm over here, you know, scraping the bottom of the barrel. So somebody is realizing something here. Look, and you're stepping into a new experience that's going to be very peaceful and harmony. And then there's something about the month of September. So next month is going to be very important for you. Yeah, you're going to get some type of news. Good news. Wow. And then look at this. Tower. Solid foundation, success with effort. So whatever you're building is going to be very successful. And you are getting some type of really good news in here. I definitely have to pull on that. I have to. We got to see what that is. And then it says family matters. So this could help your family or something going on in the family. And this came out reversed. Fear worries someone's against you. If you guys are worried that you have like family against you, you do not. It's not the family. I mean, it could be for some of you, but for some of you it's not. It's temporary. So if you are having an issue in the family, it's a temporary situation. And then it says take care or there will be a loss of material wealth, but it came out reversed, just like the dagger. So if you're worried something about a family situation, I feel like it's going to work out in your favor. Yeah, and then we have December and broken wishbone. So there could be a Sagittarius or Capricorn who's not going to get a wish granted in some type of way. Maybe when it comes to family. And then we have angels, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. So there could be something that you was wishing on. And this came out with it, the marriage, but it was in reverse. So you could have been in a, you know, a bad marriage or something. And it's like maybe you'd wished it worked out or something. But you got out of that for your own protection. You had an angel who got you out of a marriage. Okay, so if some of you went through a divorce or something, it was meant to be. And then we have older man and dark man. Okay, so there could be an older man coming towards you or older woman. This person could have dark features, or these could be two different people. And then it says dissatisfaction with life, but it came out in the reverse. So there could be one of these people who are dissatisfied with life and then one of them who's not. Okay, so I don't know if this is one of the people who you were in a marriage with or something. And then it says short journey. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. And then you will be playing a different role. Exactly. Like, I feel like some of you guys were in a marriage like years ago and you chose to get out of that. You listened to your intuition. And that changed the role that you're playing in life. There was a bunch that just flew out. I don't want to take that many. And then we have casket. Someone is going out of your life. Yeah, I feel like you ended something. You ended a marriage or something. And then it says time to act. Yeah, so some of you guys, the ones I was picking up on, that's like an abusive marriage or something, you need to get the hell out of it. It's time to take action and get out of that. Yeah, look, and you have people that are working against you. And then it says something important such as a new job or raise. Yeah, so some of you guys have people who are trying to work against you getting a new job or a raise or some type of come up, and you need to take action, okay? Because if you don't, this person's going to try to steal it from you. And then we have great passion, June, and then January, and then position of authority. You guys are going to end up getting a position of authority because you took action. Okay. And then it says victory in some endeavor, and then worry someone is against you. So you'd be correct. There are people who are trying to work against you, but you're going to have victory over them, and it's going to put you in a position of authority. They're telling me to pull on these two energies. These are two different people. Okay, those are two different characters in your life, or going to be in your life. You have an arrogant person here. The fact that these didn't come up, again, you have somebody who's very arrogant and prideful who will try to tempt you. There's a snake energy here. I feel like we'll pick up on that with the snake there, backstabbing, shit like that. Like, yeah, like, I'm going to pull a few more of these, and then I'm going to go to the extended, because those are usually about 2 hours. Yeah, look at that. People working against you. A dark woman, okay. That has come out before. And then compliments from an admirer. Someone will try to force you to do something. Spiritual love. And then good advice from a wise person. There's somebody here working against you that wants to force you into doing something. I feel like you have like an admirer here who could also be very wise, like a seer energy. This dark woman, though, used to come out in your readings quite a bit. And she was always against you. So I don't know if this is like, this energy is connected over here. Success. If you listen to some type of wise energy, which could even be yourself because you're the seer, you're going to have success here. Celebration, fun, enjoyment. And then work hard to achieve. And then it says, you will be shown the way, and then protection from a powerful friend. So there's something that you're going to be working on that's going to be very successful, and you get some type of advice from a wise friend, and you're also protected by this friend. So there's a heavy energy of protection over here. And the fact that this says spiritual love with this dark woman and this over here, I feel like this isn't love. This could be spiritual work. Because there's somebody who wants to work against you and force you to take a step down, or to leave a situation, or to just sabotage you completely. That's what I feel like this is. Because this broad was always working against you. So was that fair woman and older woman energy. Yeah, because you're happy and they don't like it. Okay? So there's like people that are just really not happy for you. Yeah, dealing's a relationship with a man. Yeah, look at that. Discord between friends and family. Broken bridge and axe. Forces working against you. Exactly. There's people here who you've ended things with, and they're working against you still to this day. Like, maybe you don't even think about these people. Yeah, they could have been a friend or a lover. These people are still working against you, watching you. This fair man, older woman, this dark woman, and a fair woman were always plotting on you in your readings. And I can tell you right now, they're still doing it. So there could be a light-skinned man working with a woman who has dark hair or dark features to come against you. You could have thought you had a spiritual connection with this man. Something like that. They could have even went to this woman to try to have them attack you spiritually or something. So I'm damn sure going to pull on this. I know this is... I try not to pull too much on this shit, but I want to hook you guys up. It's just... I can't leave you guys hanging like that. I will tell you who this is and the extended and what they're planning, because I think last time this Dark Woman came out, it came out with like a lot of spell work energy. Like, there's people out here who are really doing this, folks. Like, it's just like, okay, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull some numbers and then I'm gonna go to the extended, okay? Somebody's birthday's in these numbers. One of your enemies, they just told me. So screenshot these numbers and try to decode it. You have an enemy whose birthday, they told me, is in these numbers. Somewhere, somehow, it's their birthday. We have 1111, so you're having like a huge spiritual awakening. There's some type of change coming, okay, with the 5. There's also like outside interferences here. And then you have like some type of knowledge that you're going to go through a door. So you could be seeing the 1111. Somebody's birthday could be like November 7th or like July 11th. You have November 7th repeating itself, March 1st, May 1st. We have 4, so January 4th, January 5th, January 6th, April 1st, April 1st, October 7th, December 7th, March 2nd, March 11th, June 1st. They're drawing my attention to this 9 down here. So somebody's birthday could be like September 7th. And then I'm seeing 911, so there's that evil eye, but it's trying to hide itself with this 7, which is a deception number. So there's somebody who's pretending to be a friend or pretending like they care about you, but they do not. They have the evil eye on you. Pay attention to friends and family that don't support you, like when you have good news. Pay attention to those people who do not support you. That's going to be a huge clue as to what you got going on, okay? Because I'm hearing there's people around you that are just not happy for you. They have the evil eye on you. Yeah. And there's definitely a business rival, which this Dark Woman also kept showing up as a business rival too, months ago. There's something about needing to be 10 steps ahead of people when it comes to business. Yeah, and you got greedy people here who, you know, they're greedy. Okay. Yeah, look, older woman. There could be an older woman involved. Okay, so seeing the extended, I'll get down to the bottom of all this shit, okay? Love you guys.